name is Sydney Sharp, and I will be performing the Salem Witch Trials of 1692, how superstition, economic instability, and social conflicts fueled violent debates. Imagine that you are innocently living your life. Maybe you are tending to your farm or spending time at the local tavern. Then, out of nowhere, you are accused of witchcraft. People you have never saw before, and people you know personally, are accusing you of tormenting children, bewitching dogs, and turning into a cat. To society's standards, you are considered an outcast in some way. So, when you are in your trial, it is nearly impossible to prove your innocence. The men in the court have turned your own friends and family against you. And so, as soon as it began, you find yourself being sent to Gallows Hills to be hanged. This is similar to the tragic but true story of the 144 people accused of witchcraft during the Salem Witch Trials. The Salem Witch Trials began on February of 1692 in Salem, Massachusetts, when the Prime Minister Samuel Parris's daughter, Betty Parris, and her friends fell strangely ill, claiming that a handful of women had bewitched them. Fueled by famine, cultural differences, and war, the Salem Witch Trials led to a series of violent debates that left to 20 people being executed over the course of 1 year. The discourses that happened during the Salem Witch Trials has completely changed the way people view our justice system today and has left historians debating to this day on what actually happened to those bewitched. Was it actually witchcraft, or was it something deeper? Salem was established in 1626 by a group of Protestants, a religious group that believed in further separating the English Church from Roman Catholicism. Puritans believe that the devil wreaked havoc in the world through human agents, known as witches. Witches were thought of as being able to bring bad fortune, spread diseases, torment children, and conjure cruel apparitions. During 1692, Salem was in a challenging state. The winter of 1692 was one of the coldest on records, and there were many conflicts between neighboring Native American tribes and French settlers. To make matters worse, there was a big economic and social divide between the town of Salem, the richer part of Salem, and the village of Salem, the poorer part of Salem. So, during the winter of 1692, when two cousins, Abigail Williams and Betty Parris, fell strangely ill, the village turned a supernatural phenomenon. To understand this, why don't we meet one of these girls? My name is Betty Parris, and I am the daughter of Samuel Parris, the village's minister. I moved here to Salem with my family in 1689 when I was 6, with my father, mother, cousin, Abigail Williams, and my family's slave, Tituba. Sometime during the February of 1692, my cousin Abigail and I fell strangely ill. We would dash about, dive under furniture, bark like dogs, woof, woof, contour our bodies in pain, and complain of painful fever. Soon, 12 friends of mine began to experience similar symptoms. One physician couldn't diagnose anything physically wrong with us. Instead, he said that we were under an evil hand. One of my friends began to say that 3 women had bewitched us. Because of Salem's challenging state, when the girls said that 3 local women had bewitched them, the village did not hesitate to arrest them. These 3 women were Tituba, a slave from South Africa, Sarah Good, a poor pregnant mother of a little girl, and Sarah Osborne, a woman who had not attended church in over a year and was suing one of her accusers. Although these were the first witches to be accused, they were not the first witches to be put on trial. The first trial of a witch happened in the early summer of 1692. And who would be better to tell the story than the first witch to be put on trial? My name is Bridget Bishop, and I am the first accused witch to be put on trial. I am a 60-year-old woman, and let's just say I have been considered an outcast because of my more individual behavior. For example, my second husband, Thomas Oliver, was not a very nice man. He was abusive and he had a horrible temper. We got into many fights. However, I would fight back. You see, back then, women were expected to obey their husbands. When he would call me names, I would call him names back. When he would insult me, I would insult him back. Once, we were both punished to an hour of public humiliation. However, he got out of it. I also possessed wealth and owned land, which made me an easy target for witch hunting. One day, when I was minding my own business, I was arrested and accused of tormenting children I had never seen before in my life. My examination was held on April 19th of 1692. My prosecutor was Samuel Parris. I pleaded, "I have never seen these people before in my life, nor have they ever been in this place before. If you please, your worship, I know nothing of it." And over again we debated. Every time I would look at the girls who accused me, they would break into fits. "I am innocent," I pleaded. "I am innocent. I am not a witch. I do not know what a witch is." My first trial was held on June 2nd of 1692. My neighbors accused me of stealing their eggs and turning into a cat. One of my neighbors said he saw me flying over his orchard, and my other neighbor said that I had tormented in his dreams around the time that his daughter had died. You see, I did not have a good relationship with my neighbors, and they were most likely just trying to find a way to get rid of me. And unfortunately, they succeeded. On June 10th, 1692, Bridget was sent to Gallows Hills and was hanged. One very peculiar aspect of the Salem Witch Trials was that the court accepted something called spectral evidence. To understand that, let's meet one of the most active prosecutors himself. Order in the court! My name is Samuel Parris, and I'm the village's minister. Today, we will be examining Bridget Bishop for afflicting Abigail Williams. You see, we have reliable spectral evidence that these children have been visited by Bridget's ghost and they have been tormented by it. As you can see, these children will randomly burst into fits when touched by one of Bridget's invisible ghosts. Bridget, do you have a lawyer? Oh, right, you don't. Good luck. We believe you're guilty. Hang her. What? You think I'm biased? Well, sure, I am the father and the uncle of the two leading witnesses, but that doesn't matter. We're done here. Case closed. And these are just a few of the examples of what happened during the Salem Witch Trials. Sarah Good was executed soon after Bridget Bishop. Others were pressed to death after not admitting that they were witches. And infants died in jail too. Yes, they accused babies of being witches. The Salem Witch Trials was one of the most complicated series of debates in history. However, it all came to an end in May of 1693, when the governor of Massachusetts' wife was accused. Now, you might be wondering, why did this happen? Historians have been debating about this to this day. Some believe it was disease, others believe it was social conflicts, some believe it was child abuse. But either way, the debates that happened during the Salem Witch Trials shows the danger of groupthink and scapegoating, and the ability to use fear to manipulate others. Thank you.